Yes, downright lofty. Noble. Sit down, I wasn't expecting this. No, I'm kidding. Don't get deep with me, damn it. Okay, so treat people with respect. Now, how do you work toward that intelligently? You do it by doing it. Remember when I told you people, oh, I can't choose. Again, no whining. No. The reason you do this by yourself at home, you don't have to have any judgment. You can say, I'm going to pick even the biggest goal and I'm going to work toward it intelligently and accept the results. And when that comes across to me as a failure, nobody can see me. Wow, you can get away with all sorts of stuff, finish goals, and get ready and go out into the world and work with other people and engage with people doing this. That's the problem, the reason it's set up. So, we're going to treat people intelligently, okay? So that's our agreed upon goal, okay? We're going to work toward that intelligently, showing respect to people. How do we do that? This is more complicated because this is actually a real go out into life thing. Because this isn't real life, this is a con. Yes! Okay. Place yourself in issues?
In their shoes.
Oh, in their shoes, okay. No, I have issues enough, I don't need to get somebody else's. So you put them in your shoe, put yourself in their shoes, okay.
Think about what they have to go through.
That's right. In other words, before you judge or do anything in terms of making them right, wrong, or whatever, you put yourself into a mindset where you're saying, what are they going through? I see that person who's going through something difficult. Am I going to judge them or am I going to be respectful of them? And we chose to be respectful, okay? So,
Those who don't think judge.
yeah, those who don't think judge. Yeah, that's very judgmental. I'm kidding. But I mean, one could say that, yes. One of us.
One of us.
One of us. That's okay, it's Ash. So, Ash can be, a lot of things are forgiven because he's Ash. Right?
That's right.
So, we'll work toward this intelligently by putting ourselves in other people's shoes and trying to imagine what they're going through. And now, what would be maybe a result that's you're not happy with?
I guess
Well, maybe it didn't do any good.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to understand what that person's going through, and maybe that didn't do any good. Yeah, and with some people, maybe it never will. Okay, so that is the result. Don't say, well, I didn't get a result. Yes, you did. Accept that result. Do you like it? No, because it didn't work. I didn't like it either, but that was the result. So I'm going to walk away going, damn it, I'll try and do better next time. But what was, why? And I'll run through all these things and what could I have done differently, etc. But still accept the results and then start over. Don't stress about this. Spend all the time trying to figure that out. So that was the goal we set for ourselves. We worked toward it intelligently, and we accepted the results. Let's say in this particular case, the person, it didn't help relating to that person, and in that sense, it failed. So, all right, we failed this time. What do? Move on to the next one, step 4. We're going to start again, all right? Always make sure you wind it up and say, I'm going to start fresh. One thing about waking up earlier or later, whatever in the morning, it's a new day. You get to start at 0 every single day. That's why when they say, get a good night's sleep, it'll look better. Yeah, because that problem that was up to the ceiling, the next day when I've had my coffee and a banana and I get to take 2 seconds to think, it's down here now. Okay, because I had a chance to sleep and I'm rested and that sort of thing. Okay, part of that process. Make sure that you're physically ready to do that. Okay, so let's do it again. We'll choose, our goal is to be empathetic, respectful to somebody, and we are working toward it intelligently. We see somebody that's having a hard time physically. Okay, a good example would be, I got on the bus one time, many moons ago when I was riding the bus in LA, and I got on the bus and I got the last seat. And so what's going to happen when somebody else gets on the bus? There's no place to sit, all right? But now that I'm getting elderly, it's harder for me to say this, but back then I thought, well, if an elderly person gets on the bus, I'm going to give my seat up. And this older black lady got in, she looked around right away, and I got up and I said, "Ma'am, go ahead and take my seat." And you think that she got crowned as the queen of something. She was so absolutely overcome with delight. You know, I leaned over to her and I said, "Well, sitting down's overrated." And she just started laughing like crazy, you know. Now, what was my goal? To, in this case, help out specifically, you know, with the person getting a seat. And it can be that small and simple. You know, my goal is to change the world, you know, but I can't do that when I'm sitting in a bus and I have one seat to give up to somebody. But did I make it better? Yeah. So my goal was to make this better for someone that needed the seat, and she did more than I did. All right. How did I work toward it intelligently? My voice is my business card, so I'm not worried about people hearing what I sound like. I used to be when I was in school. I was very, very, very shy. I didn't sound like this. I tried to, at my age, everybody tried to be Clint Eastwood, you know. So I talked like this for the longest time because this is an awesome cowboy thing to do, you know. So I didn't do this. I wasn't using my voice properly at that time. But I was always shy about being heard, even in drama class. You know. Okay, who wants to go next? I'm like, do you want to go? So I'd get up on stage and then suddenly I would erupt in words and people would go, "My God, you've got a wonderful voice." And I go and sit down and I said, "They didn't like me. They're going to make fun of me because of my voice." And they would make fun of me because I sounded the way I did. "Why do you sound that way and you're only, you know, 115 pounds? What's the matter?" But they would always find something. In this particular case, I spoke up. I said, "Ma'am, you come and take my seat." Okay. Was that the method? Was that the way I did it, the way I worked intelligently toward it? Yeah. And it was a simple thing of getting up like that. Was I happy with the results? Oh yeah, especially the way she was beaming. This was, like I said, this was the most incredible thing it seemed like anybody had ever done for her. Because when she first got on the bus and looked around, she seemed a little lost. And I said, "Ma'am, you go ahead, take my seat." You know. Did I accept the results? Yeah, they were great, they were terrific. So, you know, move on to something else. Thank you, Matt. Matt, everybody.